Today on the Nerdy Gritty, Fortnite has now staged 2 concerts within its world. So we ask, what else can they do?
One more world disappears inside it. Just another hopeless addict. Well, they make some man instead. If the drums don't get you, the guitars will.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Nerdy Gritty, where you delve deep into the details of pop culture. I am Dez with the pickaxe.
I'm Travis. I'm Travis Scott.
You are Travis Scott.
I'm Fox Knight. A couple days ago, I think it was yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday. As of recording, of course. The trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla dropped. This was
it's Assassin's Creed based on my Animal Crossing island.
Yes, it is. They were like, "That's great production now."
Yes,
and then they did it in like a month and a half.
It's crazy,
impressive. No, it's
kind of like Resident Evil 3. Hey,
the new Assassin's Creed will be set in Viking times. One imagines it's going to be in the Scandinavian region. We want to talk about so they're going to Scandinavia, we assume, Viking times, and you'll get to be a big Viking person. But this series is probably not going to end anytime soon.
No.
And they've gone all kinds of places. In fact, I wanted to have a list of settings for us, so I should look that up. But we're going to talk about where the Assassin's Creed series could go in the future to keep it fresh or keep it interesting. Where can they go in the future? You got any on the off the dome?
Yes.
Okay.
Picture this. Ready? Renaissance Italy. Leonardo da Vinci is your partner.
Are you joking right now?
Yes, I'm joking right now.
No, honestly, that's not it. That's Assassin's Creed 2.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
Yes, I am joking right now.
Okay. I thought you were joking in
No.
the sense that that's stupid and ridiculous, because it kind of is.
No, that's stupid awesome. Are you
some
kidding
of the
me?
I hate in the Assassin's Creed games when it's like, hey, look, it's a famous person you've heard of. He's now your friend. It's so dumb.
No. Ready? Assassin's Creed Old West, where is it? Where has it been for so long?
Okay. Assassin's Creed Old West.
Yes.
I like it.
I want there to be bar fights, shootouts, but also it's just fine if you're sneaking into room and stabbing guys too. Like, I want there to be a very Old West style justice, to put it bluntly there.
Sure.
But in the whole idea where like you can be the noble killer in Old West style thought process.
Yeah, true justice.
Yeah. The Old West justice, frontier justice style thought process.
Right. I moved it north to the Pacific Northwest frontier.
Oh,
so
I
still
like
kind
that.
of the same era, actually. Yeah, like early 1800s.
Yeah.
And you could be involved with Lewis and Clark on their
the
expedition.
actual literal
and
Oregon
actually
Trail.
show kind of how terrible they were.
The whole thing,
Like,
well,
just
and how little
the
they
history
did.
of the U.S., really.
A lot of people don't know as much about Lewis and Clark because you don't live in the Northwest.
Everything
kind of a
here
big
is
deal
called
here,
Lewis and Clark.
but we're also pretty honest about it. Like,
Yep.
we know that Lewis and Clark weren't the best.
You could drive around Oregon and Washington and find 1,000 markers of saying, hey, this is where Lewis and Clark came.
You could literally
Like,
follow
I
the
don't
Oregon
know if
Trail.
all of them are really where they came. But yeah, so that was mine. It also include like maybe some Canada and some Alaska.
Ubisoft has done a really good job of taking some historical times and being honest with it. I think a historical culture that it's incredibly fascinating, super duper cool, but is not even close to gain the popularity of ancient Egypt or Romans for some reason, is the middle North American, the Mexico area.
Oh, okay.
Like Aztec,
Like the Aztecs.
Aztecs and Mayans.
Man, we're best friends.
Did you see that too?
I went Incas,
Incans.
which are South America.
Yeah,
but I
absolutely.
heavily considered Aztec also.
Central America. That's the phrase I was trying to look
Central
for.
America, yeah.
Yeah, the whole Central American, Mayans, Incans, Aztecs, all of them.
Yeah.
The culture is fascinating, you guys.
Different, but similar in their architecture and stuff,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
I don't want to lump them all in the same
No,
thing.
very, very different. Yeah, absolutely.
Peru and Mexico are very different places.
But the culture of all of these are very individual, but also fascinating, incredibly
100%.
cool.
Yeah.
And they were warriors, just like any other culture.
Absolutely.
Out there. The Jaguar warriors of the Aztecs are legendary. The like actual like ceremonies they did and things like that could be shown. You could very much, just like in Origins, you could go on a historical tour of those areas if you wanted to. They have the temples
100%, yeah.
mapped out and everything. To me, that's one that's like, come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, the Incan culture, you could go to like Machu Picchu, see all the cool like different kind of pyramids that they create. Like there's so much cool architecture that could be explored and
real.
climbed, as well as the dense jungle. Give me your last one.
And this one goes into the supernatural a little bit.
Ooh.
Assassin's Creed Atlantis. You're
You're gonna have to sell me on this one, my friend.
So there are
Pre-syncing?
pre-syncing essentially.
Of course.
And there would be what is thought to be some maps of what the city would have looked like. There would be some ideas of it and kind of how it looks, where it was, why it happened, everything else.
Sure.
And you could have part of why it's like maybe you don't have supernatural powers or anything like that, but there are supernatural forces at work, or something is happening that the end is that Atlantis being sunk in some way, shape, or form.
I think.
But with that,
sorry.
I was just going to say, you could stitch out a whole cloth if you wanted to.
100%. I think that's been a kind of a poor decision in the part of. I love the historical nature of it. I love showing actual history, giving us really like accurate depictions of these cities. But if you've never played Assassin's Creed, you don't know that it does get weird and supernatural.
Right.
At the end of 1 and 2, there are literal space gods. The outside of time and like they are literally there and talking to you. It's a really cool scene.
The player?
It's a really cool scene. They are technically this is in 2, I believe, talking to Desmond through Ezio, but looking directly at the camera, and they are talking to you.
That's crazy.
They get meta with it. There are like objects of power basically that are like supernatural and give you ability. Well, you don't really use them except for in certain cutscenes, but like they are. It does get supernatural. It's weird that they don't also include. I thought it was a kind of a disappointment in Odyssey and Origins. They didn't involve any kind of mythological creatures for you to fight.
Anyway, let's head into some news. Let's find out what's going on in the video game world here.
Or just the world in general.
The
entertainment
world, because my first one has nothing to do with video games.
Yeah, mine neither.
So,
yeah.
Hey, did you hear what Universal said about the release of Trolls World Tour?
It was incredibly successful.
Incredibly successful.
I'm guessing, but I'm not surprised, actually.
Went really, really well. In fact, it was so far beyond their expectations
projections
that they've decided, you know what? We're going to start doing simultaneous theater releases and stream release.
This Trolls World Tour was a canary in the coal mine.
Right.
The cold mine.
In the cold mine.
That's where you go to get a cold.
So we're going to do both theater and streaming release.
I love it.
AMC Theaters has come back and said, fine, we won't show your movies. The largest...
You're on the wrong side of history, AMC.
The largest theater chain in the world has now turned to Universal and said, if you're going to try and skip the middleman, the middleman is going to skip you. I'm actually on AMC's side on this one.
Really?
Yes.
This should be a topic we talk about, because that is interesting to me.
Yes.
Maybe we should, but let's talk about it here briefly.
Yes. For exactly the reason I already said. Look, AMC is a middleman. And look, they're a middleman that is dying. We know that is true. Theaters, and this should be a topic, what do theaters need to do? What should theaters do to stay relevant?
Okay.
My wife and I were talking about that recently.
No, that's come in next week.
Yeah.
Preview. Disney's been doing live action remakes of all their classic animated movies for a long time now. It's been a thing. Some of them are successful, some of them are not. I'm very excited to watch Mulan whenever we get that option.
Yes.
But
oh my gosh.
One of the next ones is Hercules.
Okay.
And the Russo brothers are producing it.
Really?
Here's what we want to discuss. What should the Hercules a live action remake look like?
Man, that's tough because you need to balance being respectful to a culture with also being fun. Like that's the balance that Mulan is trying to dance.
Right.
And it sounds like they skipped the crazy funness and are going like straight up respectful.
They're going
to culture
straight up, yeah,
awesome.
like war epic basically.
Yeah, and I'm stoked for
Which
it.
Mulan, it's easier because it's mostly war epic.
I would think that I would suggest they lean in the opposite direction for Hercules.
I would 100% agree.
That they should go all in on the fantasy of it and make it a little bit goofy.
The super serious Hercules movie has been done to death, and they're all bad. They're all bad.
Wait. Yes, they're all bad.
There is one good Hercules movie. It's the animated one that Disney made.
Hey, you listen to podcasts.
I occasionally.
How many video game podcasts do you listen to? Just the one?
I listen to the besties,
Besties.
occasionally.
Yeah. And then there's another one that talks about video games. Not always, but every once in a while, called the NerdyGritty. That's very good. And you guys should listen to.
I haven't heard of it.
Have you heard about Talking Games with Reggie and Harold? A new podcast that's forming with Harold...
Ramis.
Yeah, the Harold Ramis.
That's in poor taste. Rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean...
I'm so sorry.
Harold, dang it. His last name isn't in the description here, but he is a video games critic.
Okay.
And Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Oh.
Harold Goldberg, there it is.
Sure, that guy.
Yeah, and Reggie Fils-Aimé.
And they're just talking about games.
They want to do a 7-episode kind of the world of gaming, like overall look at gaming podcast. And they're looking to raise money for it. $15,000 was their goal.
This is a Kickstarter? Or?
Is a GoFundMe. And the proceeds are actually going to go to helping the, I believe it's inner city and underserved communities during COVID-19.
Okay.
That's very, very cool. So, $15,000 is their goal. It's been there for 2 days. How much money do you think they've raised?
I would guess $2,355.
You cheater.
I looked it up before you even asked me the question.
Because I saw that and I was like, really? Wow. I figured that would have reached its goal in 8 seconds.
Yeah. There's a big difference between GoFundMe and Kickstarter
Yes.
to a lot of people. GoFundMe, you don't get any quote-unquote rewards.
Right.
All that, and it's just not as well-known as
Right.
Kickstarter, but I think this will make it no problem.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because, number one, I just want to hear it.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'll
super
probably
cool.
give $5 or $10 because
Right.
I want to hear this.
But number two, that's a really good cause. Like, that's a really relevant cause, not just saying to COVID-19 research. There's been billions of dollars put that towards already, but like, COVID-19 is also destroying lives, and this is money going to help those lives.
Right. Summer Game Fest
Yeah.
is a thing that's going to be happening. It was announced as a season-long E3 replacement. So it's Jeff Keighley and, quote, friends. This is a Polygon article from today, actually, from 11 a.m., just a couple hours ago. In the absence of the annual E3 gaming convention, publishers and developers are filling the void with digital events of their own. On Friday, the Game Awards creator Jeff Keighley, also like games industry like stalwart forever.
Yes.
Creator Jeff Keighley announced his E3 2020 replacement, Summer Game Fest, described as a blend of breaking news, in-game events, and free playable content.
That's incredible.
So essentially for like 3 to 4 months, it's supposed to start in May, which started
and
today.
go through August.
Go through August. There will be a lot of stuff that happens related to this Summer Game Fest. And I love it.
I
think this is a really great, like, direction for this kind of thing to go in.
Well, in our conversation of what should E3 do after it got canceled forever ago, we were like, hey, everybody should be trying the digital formats and trying to do the whole Nintendo Direct State of Play type of thing. And, hey, here we go.
So what you're saying is Jeff Keighley owes us a lot of money.
A lot of money. Tell you what, Jeff, we'll take 1% of your profits.
No. We will take one tweet shouting us out.
That'd
or
be incredible.
$20 million. Either one.
Either one is fine.
Balls in your court, man.
Whatever you want to do, Jeff.
So anyway, we've got, companies jumping on buy-in from a long list of developers. 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, CD Projekt Red, Digital Extremes, Electronic Arts, Microsoft, Private Division, Riot Games, Sony Interactive, Square Enix, Valve, Warner Bros., and then a bunch of platforms, Facebook, Mixer, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and the publisher's own channels, all being involved in this.
Yep.
This is taking the concept of E3 and bringing it to everybody from all kinds of platforms.
This was Jeff Keighley being like, hey guys, you want to do E3 online this year? And everybody going, yes,
100%.
We had so much prepared.
Yeah.
We had so much ready, please.
Man, and I love it. I'm so excited for all of this. We talked about very briefly just kind of doing a rundown weekly kind of thing, or, make sure, definitely doing any demos that drop from this, but just kind of trying to take in everything that they release as much as we can.
You now have read the fox in Animal Crossing, right? And
I've seen
art.
him once. Well, twice.
Oh,
Yeah, he comes randomly.
Have you seen the haunted paintings that he brings sometimes?
I've seen some pictures of
There's
goofy ones,
No, there
like
are some
bald
that,
Mona
like,
Lisa.
it'll be like, hey, do you think this one's real? And then it blinks at you.
Oh,
Then the painting blinks.
I have not seen that.
There's another one where like you look at the front, looks fine, and you go to the back and there's this weird humanoid shadow on the back of it. There are some like creepy, weird
I have
things.
not seen that,
Yes.
and I'm terrified.
All right, what have you been up to, Fox?
I've been playing some Torchlight 2.
Ooh.
Torchlight 3 is coming out this summer. It was originally going to be an MMO called Torchlight Frontiers, and then the internet was like, okay, we'll maybe play it, but also I don't know about that. Which companies don't have to bend their knee to the consumer or the critic every time. I get that. But I'm very happy that they announced not too long ago, hey guys, psych, this is just going to be Torchlight 3, and it's going to have some ideas we were using, but it's going to be much more similar to the previous games in the series.
That's cool.
And I was pumped about it.
Yeah. Because my wife and I finished the Infinity Saga, our plan of watching it, we finished it.
Which is a false advertisement. You finished the Infinity Saga? Come on.
Anyway, we have just been catching up on some movies that were recently released, including we watched Extraction, the new Chris Hemsworth movie.
So did I!
On Netflix. Yeah, and I gotta say, man, it was really mediocre.
It was extremely average.
Fine.
Except for that really cool
Scene in the middle,
12-minute
long
action
shot.
scene.
That was so good. On the other note of Netflix originals, I watched The Willoughbys, an animated movie about 3 kids with terrible parents. Like, the parents aren't like beating them or anything like that. Just, it's comedically selfish parents. They actively dislike their children. They're like, ew, those things are here again. Played by Martin Short and the parents, Martin Short and Jenna Maroney. Dang it, what's her name?
Krakowski. Jane Krakowski.
Jane Krakowski. And they knock it out of the park. They're great.
Krakowski.
But that movie was delightful. It was much fun.
What was the actual plot?
So it's about 3 kids, the Willoughby children, who have this long line, the Willoughbys have this long history of being like epic adventurers and everything like that until their dad. He was the Willoughby who just decided to be this selfish doofus. And then he met their mom, and the mom and dad are in love. They're so in love that they don't care about their children. They only care about each other. Bottom line is the Willoughbys decide, we're going to orphan ourselves.
So I was watching the Bond movies.
Oh, yeah.
I got to, let's see, On Her Majesty. No, You Only Live Twice. I got to You Only Live Twice.
Yolot.
That's, yep. It's actually Yolt. It's
mm-hmm.
Yolt. Yolt. I got to that one, and they're all, up to then the same movie, essentially. James Bond goes on a mission. There's Bond girls and a villain. And
sexually assaults women for sure. Standard Bond, whatever.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm getting tired of this. Like, I'm just getting bored with these movies. They're the same thing every time. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to skip and watch Goldeneye. The first Bond movie I ever watched because of the game. Yep. And I remember telling my parents, like, this is just like the game. And my parents are just like, no, the game is from the...
Yeah.
And so I watched that one, and nothing was different about it. And it made me realize just how different the Daniel Craig Bond movies are.
I also watched Zombieland Double Tap. I'm not going to go into that too deep because you've talked about it before. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I liked it more than I liked Extraction. But,
really?
Yeah. But my wife and I after were like, oh, it's fun. And I'll probably forget about it in a few days.
It's very forgettable. So is Extraction.
My last thing, because, man, we are going long on
It's what we do now.
Here. It is.
We're not going long anymore. This is just what we do
now.
We got to realign our brains.
My last one is actually, I've found a new YouTube channel. I have been binging with Babish.
Oh, yeah. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, Babish.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife loves it. I've watched a couple.
It's a cooking show that specifically his goal is to find a scene in a TV show or a movie in which there is food.
Yep.
And he wants to make that food.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. And sometimes it'll be something that's obviously going to be gross or dumb. And then he'll be like, cool, there was that. Now let's try and make it good.
Yeah. So that's all I've been up to this week.
Me too. Let's get down to the nerdy gritty.
Let's move on.
Before we do that, though, I am actually going to jump in here and give a new... Yeah, we've been kind of cycling through like 4 or 5 ad lines, but I'm going to do a new one here because we are going to be pounding in some more Patreon content coming up soon.
Yeah.
I want to let you guys know about this. We have a series that we called the
Bargain Bin Gaming.
Bin. Yeah, the Bargain Bin. And it's on the Nintendo eStore, like the 2-cent
Literally games
or
that cost
10
a
cents.
cent.
Like less than $1 has
Yes.
been our goal, and we found several of them. So we're gonna be putting that stuff on there, as well as some more Patreon featured content. Because if you guys don't know, we have a Patreon. It has this podcast in an unedited version, usually about just over an hour to an hour and a half long, somewhere in that area, as well as all kinds of other cool Patreon exclusive content. We would love for you guys to go check that out at patreon.com/dezandfox. There are 3 tiers, all within what we consider a pretty affordable range there. We don't want all you guys' money or anything. We'd love for you guys to go check that out, though. Thanks for listening, and let's get down to that nerdy-gritty.
So, recently in the little indie game Fortnite, there was a big event that took place. A concert put on by rapper Travis Scott took place, and it was awesome.
It was super cool, man.
Like if you watch it on any channel it's on YouTube where somebody's recorded it and put it on there, all the comments are, I don't play Fortnite, but this was super cool.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with it. Like I've watched it 3 times.
Well, the fact that, I mean, I want to go back and I only watch it one time, but I want to go watch it from other people's perspectives.
Right, and just kind of get with, yeah. So, quick rundown of what happens in this and what I love about it. What part of what I love about it? It starts off with basically that there had been another concert that took place in Fortnite. It was the DJ Marshmello or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, and he did like a concert. It was you stand at a concert or in like
There's
a stage, and he's up there. It's all digital, of course. It's in Fortnite, but he's playing his music and you can dance and whatever. This started off you standing on a stage looking up at a screen. The music starts and then the screen basically goes away.
Even before that, there's like a meteor up in the sky.
Sure, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
way far away, and it's slowly coming
coming
the
in.
Stage.
The screen that you're looking at, though, that's been just showing some kind of generic whatever, goes away, and a thing shoots down and slams into the ground and launches you away from the stage, and a massive Titan-sized Travis Scott starts doing his thing, like dancing and doing his thing, and it starts off with the song Sicko Mode, which is a pretty good song, and then, like, I don't want to describe everything because it's fun to watch and also take forever. But it's basically this psychedelic, like, really trippy way to watch
being in Fortnite world and him again being miles high Titan comparatively to your avatar, and then you end up in the water swimming around, and then you end up in space. Like, it was so cool to watch, and of course, not interactive, but like you could navigate around.
You could walk around, especially at the early parts. You could just run around the world. He's just walking around, doing cool stuff, and
jumping around
wherever you
like
want.
That.
Yeah,
it was super cool.
And what was cool about it was it kept you guessing. It wasn't just you watching a video. And B, it kind of upset the formula they had with the marshmallow thing. Mm-hmm. You're standing there expecting to watch this thing. It's about to start, and then it blows your mind when it starts to happen. You don't expect it. So it was really cool. And it also, we were talking about how it took a platform, Fortnite, which is a video game, and used it.
Is that what Fortnite
That's
is?
what it is, if you didn't know. Well, it's a video game and then used it for something that was not a video game.
Yeah.
It was an interactive like world you could still move around in as your avatar or whatever, but you weren't playing a game.
Right.
You were still in a sense watching something happen in a way that you couldn't in any other media. And got us thinking, what else could Fortnite do? We're going to talk specifically about Fortnite.
Yes.
Because they seem to be kind of interested in doing these things.
Right.
So what else can Fortnite use its platform for?
This is the first step toward the Oasis, guys. Oasis in Ready Player One.
It's not the first step, but it's definitely a step on the way.
Of like taking a
Second Life
medium,
might have been the first
taking
step.
a medium and then saying, what if we do something entirely different in
Yes.
that medium, but still awesome?
Right.
And what if people can come to that medium for any number of things?
Yeah.
Not just that one thing,
Right.
but any number of things. Like, this is really cool. So, Okay, I'm actually going to get into. So we want to again talk about what else can Fortnite 2 do. I'm going to break the mold immediately and say what I don't want them to try and do.
Ooh, okay.
I don't want to try and make educational Fortnite or school Fortnite. I don't think that's the direction.
Delete
this
all
should...
of my ideas. Just kidding. I don't have that. That's lame.
I don't think that's
nerds.
something that would be effective in this. I think that would be pandering in an unsuccessful way. Now, would it be cool if there was an educational, like Fortnite school
in addition
style
of
thing?
the Minecraft style?
Yeah,
Minecraft has
Minecraft
a version
is
of the
fantastic
game.
at that.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, would it be cool if there was something like that? Sure.
It could be.
But that's not Fortnite's goal.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, I think that would be like saying, you know what Academy Award-winning movie directors should do? Make educational films.
Make industrial, like, safety films.
Right, and it's like, no, because they're making art
That's
of
not
a
what they
different
do.
style here. Yeah, a genuine art. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's what Fortnite is doing right now, is creating a new kind of art, and it's so cool. And I expected to sit down to this concert and be like, well, that was 10 minutes of my life. I'm not going to get
Travis
back.
Scott, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know the name Travis Scott
Yeah.
before I sat down to this. And I watched that and like, holy crap, that
Okay.
was cool, man.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah. So anyway, that's something that I really liked, and I hope that people aren't trying to call for them to be like, you should use this for good. Like, no, this is good.
It is
That
good.
was beautiful
Yeah.
art, and it was so cool. And so I hope that they continue emphasizing art in this way.
Now, before we get into this again, another disclaimer, because there might be an idea we had or something. Fortnite is getting a party royale mode, so you can give your guns a rest. This is another Polygon article.
Interesting.
This is according to, let's see, a Fortnite data miner. If you don't know what data miner is, they're somebody who will go into the code of a game and try to find things that might be
that are just sitting there.
information
yeah.
that might be in there. A lot of stuff that's been put into Animal Crossing has already been discovered before it was announced. Like
Some Final Fantasy VII remake
yep,
things.
there's a
Yeah,
lot
same
of
thing.
games. It's kind of impossible to not really have that happen. But anyway, this is from Twitter user Lucas7Yoshi. He's one of Fortnite's most prolific data miners. He found a map that is being assumed to be... Okay, yeah. He also found a description for Party Royale mode. And it says, welcome to the party, leave your weapons and mats behind, and hang out with friends, play games, perfect your skydive, and more. The party's just getting started. So in theory, this is Party Royale, where it's hangout social mode.
Yeah.
You are not trying to kill each other
Yeah.
in this version.
That's awesome.
Right. So that's a thing that's very likely already in the works.
Just please, if Zoom has taught us anything during this time, password protect everything.
Yep,
Get
yep.
like really, really safe, because there are some horrific human beings.
There's a
who
lot
would
of terrible
really
people out
take
there
advantage of that.
that are already doing that on all games.
Yes.
But this one could be even worse.
Yes. That's
So
very cool.
So what do you? Yeah, I just want to make that disclaimer. That might be a thing that's already happening. So what do you got? What should
Kinda
they
like
do?
with our Assassin's Creed Valhalla thing, I'm going to go from what I think would be the least cool to the most cool.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to start with spectator esports, or specifically spectator Fortnite.
Okay.
You enter a stadium, and it is the overhead view of what is literally going on from where you're sitting.
Interesting.
At any point, you can zoom in. Or if you want to, you're watching on a screen, you can swap the screen to a first-person mode of whoever is playing or whatever else. Or you can be looking at the entire map from your spectator spot in the stadium, and you can like just be watching and be like, wait, what is going on over there? I'm watching this spot and these guys over here, but I can see, because I'm at an elevated view, I can see that there's a shootout going on over there, and then you zoom in on that spot. And you can get this overhead bird's eye view of what's going on there or whatever else. Or you zoom back out and you can jump wherever you want to be. Maybe you know that this place is a hot spot and you just want to chill there for a while, whatever else. But having some sort of spectator ability where the Fortnite map is inside some sort of stadium and you are on the outside watching that, and again, able to change your camera
Okay.
view, go where you want to go, have some sort of spectator like
I did
omniscience.
look. Right now, you can only spectate your friends,
Right.
while you're in a lobby waiting.
And
Basically,
typically the spectator is going to be from like a third person just over the
Right.
shoulder or in their first person view.
right, seeing what they see.
I mean, just an overhead map, watching the entire thing, like specific areas, and then seeing a shootout and being able to zoom into that area and just have it be like a 100 feet in the air equivalents
Sure.
of you watching this shootout.
Sure. The hard part there, because I want to poke holes in everything you come up with,
Of course.
is
You literally poke holes in me sometimes with a
it's
knife.
the new version of screen sharing or screen cheating. It's like stream sniping. I'm watching this being played. I know everything that's going on. I'll just tell you what's happening.
And that's why I say it's esports. It's something that it's going to be highly, highly monitored. There's not
Okay.
going to be able to, because you're not playing. If somebody's trying to stream snipe while playing the esports, they're going to get caught immediately.
While somebody's playing for sure, but stream sniping is the idea that somebody else is watching and then telling the player, hey, this is what's going on.
How would they do that on stage, though? Typically, these esports guys are on a stage and people
I guess
are
that's
watching
true.
them. Yeah. Like, I'm talking professional esports here. It's going to be highly
Okay.
monitored.
So not
Stream
just
sniping is gonna
standard.
be-
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
that
not
makes
just
sense to me.
standard. But, because for me, this was an event, and Fortnite did this event really well. And I think they could continue to add participation to events.
Okay.
And so the
Sure.
events of Fortnite as an esport have some sort of in-game spectator, and you can even charge. Just say, hey, we will allow you into the room to spectate this for $10. And you can watch from home. I think
Okay.
it'd be super cool.
Yeah. I'll go with, I don't have my first thing I'll talk about is movie night. And spelled
Ooh.
NITE, of course.
Ah,
But basically, and this would be a very, like, it wouldn't be the cool, like Travis Scott walking around kind of thing. But you could just go into Fortnite and there's a big screen and you're watching whatever movie is sponsoring it. You're watching Avengers Endgame. Marvel has already done a deal with them where you could be Thanos.
yeah.
So you're watching Avengers Endgame in the game together. Just for this feels like it could be part of the Party Royale mode.
Yeah.
Where it's, let's go watch this movie together, a fun hangout time. I love the idea of Party Royale taking away the guns part of it.
Right.
And turning it into more of just a social aspect.
Right.
And so watch a movie or listen to this album listening party or something, some way. Like I'm thinking about the marketing version of this. Like,
Right.
like, you know, we're going to do a watch party of this new movie that came out. You know, it's going, you can buy it digitally tomorrow, but you can watch it all together tonight on Fortnite. I don't know. It is more of a marketing thing, but I think it would be fun to do, to go into the thing and just watch it. You can watch a movie all over the world with your friends.
To return your whole poking,
Sure.
I think the coolest thing about the concert was the fact that you can still traverse and navigate and get different perspectives on it. How would that work? Like, I feel like with
Okay,
a movie, your goal would be to stand still.
That's true. All right. Spitballing here. The movie is projected on the sky, and you can run around and just watch. You can see parts of it at one time. I don't know, man. I'm coming up with ideas here. Stop. Hey, look, I can dish it out, but I
just
cannot
can't
take it.
We talked about that in Days Gone. I was editing the video, and I'm like, can I berate you like you did me in the Resident Evil 3 game? No, because it hurts my feelings.
It's true.
So, all right, my second one. Ready? We've already done concerts. How about classic concerts? Get the best animators in the world looking at concerts from Michael Jackson in the past, intricately studying his movements and everything like that, and then recreating it in the Fortnite world, but also just as psychedelic or huge or whatever else, and incredible and wonderful.
They've already been doing, the hologram versions of, like, I don't know if you've seen some of those. Like, they put Tupac as a hologram, and he performed a concert.
Yeah,
and
that was a while ago.
Right, and that it was like a 2D. You're watching it from the stage. If you could put a
Hatsune Miku?
giant 3D Tupac doing his thing,
I mean, and again, this would give a chance for classic musicians that are phenomenal but have sadly passed to be able to perform again, have people fall in love with them all over again. And because we have to understand that everybody needs money in all of this, it's a great way for the old Michael Jackson, whoever owns all of Michael Jackson's content right now.
yeah, they
or
definitely
Tupac's
need the
content,
money.
Whoever owns their content could make some money off of it too.
Sure.
I think classic concerts done in the same sort of incredibly bombastic, psychedelic way would be incredible.
Yeah. Also, have it played during a match. Have the match go on while Travis Scott is jumping around and stomping around, and he's an obstacle you have to get away from. Yeah, I love that. Just bringing classics and let new people. I mean, it worked with Fallout 76. People did not like the game, but the song "Country Roads" by John Denver became a huge hit, and it's like this classic country song that the quote unquote gamer person would be like, lame old person music. Now they love it because it's associated with a series they like.
Well, not to mention, if you're gonna say, hey, we're gonna do a recreation of these songs from Michael Jackson's Thriller, hey mom, you want to jump on Fortnite with me? I know that.
Yeah, we're going to watch this. We're going to watch a show
we're going to
tonight.
see Michael Jackson. It's going to be awesome. Mom, you want to check out Fortnite with me? Dad, you want to check out Fortnite with me?
Yeah, an event for families.
For all ages, and bringing in a whole new audience that would kind of, again, almost in the realm, not quite to the extent, but almost in the realm of the Wii, finding a brand new audience for this medium.
Yeah, you do the summer Fortnite concert series.
That'd be so cool.
Of course, it could be all year long because the weather doesn't matter. Here's my huge one that I'm really actually very excited for. I want them to recreate simplified versions of other genres within Fortnite.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I want the map of Fortnite to become the world of a JRPG. And they have, they have like random encounters or an ARPG, whatever. And they make fun of a lot of the tropes of these genres. But but the combat becomes a turn-based whatever, or it becomes, whatever kind, where it takes what you already have in the game and just uses those assets toward some kind of new thing. What they do right now really well in Fortnite, and it's kind of the despicable part of Fortnite, is the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
And they have like a schedule, like if you subscribe, you paid this much, that means you get access to all these events and you can do all these things, and if you get all of them, then you get this reward.
Right.
Meaning,
they're
getting you to pay more, they're getting you to play more.
Yeah.
And I think part of that could be like, okay, you need to play do a run through of Fortnite the JRPG, or Fortnite the top-down RTS. And it gives people, Fortnite does a lot of things well, but it does create a atmosphere of this is the best game and other games are bad. If it's not Fortnite, I don't like it. And I say that knowing that it's stereotypical, but I know that there are students on the bus that I drive that say, like, when they're talking about video games, it actively comes up, Fortnite's better.
Yeah.
And it creates this atmosphere of mine has to be the best and yours is bad because it's not that.
Right.
Which is a young mindset. I get that. You like it, whatever. But also, if Fortnite then became other kinds of games, then it gives them the opportunity to realize, oh wait, maybe I'll like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, maybe that will actually be
Maybe
fun.
I actually like RTSs because that was my favorite way to play Fortnite in the world.
Yeah.
And so it just like, it kind of expands the realm of what Fortnite is. Fortnite becomes, again, a platform and not just a game.
Yeah.
Because it's just how you play other games at the same time.
The Oasis, guys. Fortnite's becoming a platform.
It's sinister. Yeah, and then also maybe we just like go to school in Fortnite also.
Yeah, all of our banking is done through Fortnite. That'd be fun though. In fact, that plays into my next one.
Right.
Team escape rooms. So it's no longer player versus player, it's team versus game. And you begin in a room and there's simple puzzle elements, but as well as like shooting challenges you need to take care of.
Yeah.
And you have people who are better, because I've done a lot of escape rooms. I've done a lot of escape rooms, and there is a very team aspect of having the mechanical guy and the literature guy. Like I'm the word puzzle literature guy in the team that I usually go with. And if there's a word puzzle, if my mechanical guy, Josh, sees it and he says, oh,
nope,
Des,
bye.
Des, one over here. Come on. And I just walk over there and I take care of it, or vice versa. If I see a mechanical puzzle, I'm like, nope, Josh, come take care of this, dude. You got this. Yep. And building a team like that to go through these all kinds of different things. It's fun team building. It's really cool. And I still think it wouldn't be that difficult to do in the game. There's already picking up of items in the game. There's already shooting things in the game. There's already traversal in the game.
Yeah, you use those skills that have already been developed by Fortnite.
Yeah.
And just use them in a different context.
Yeah, but in team building and puzzle solving to kind of help people try things out in a different way, like think in a different way. So,
and with all of it, you still have leaderboards. You still have, fastest time or least amount of people on your team in the fastest time.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, I don't know, different. Yeah, that could be, man, that's a really cool thing. A digital escape room, but where it's actually team based.
Right.
Because you could call a puzzle game an
I mean,
escape
there's
room.
been 100. In fact, escape rooms were digital before they were escape rooms.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Essentially, like classic text adventure games.
Yeah, point and click adventures.
Are
things like that.
essentially escape rooms.
But this brings in the team aspect. of it,
which really
and-
separates it. Yeah.
And within the shooting and the Fortnite world of it all, I think it'd be super cool.
Yeah, 100%. You keep going. You got a whole lot more than I do.
Oh, I got one more.
Please.
And my final one is kind of goes against my original thing, but take a note from Ubisoft and go historical exploration.
Okay.
Make some new maps that are Egypt circa whenever, but historically accurate.
That'd be fun.
And you can traverse the pyramids, and hey, guess what? The pyramids traps are active, and you can hole into a tomb if you want to, and you can reactivate the traps and then hide somewhere. Of course, there's still a circle. If you camp too long,
Oh, yeah, it's
gonna
the
shrink
same
on you.
game,
You know
for
what
sure.
I mean? But it gives an opportunity for people to get super interested in these things. And so you tell somebody, hey, in 6 months, we're going to be releasing our Roman Colosseum map.
Sure.
And then they release, here's some history on it. Here's the original build map. Here's exactly what it looked like back then. You have 6 months to study.
Yeah.
And now people want to study this. Now
I got to play Fortnite. Give me a book.
No, 12-year-olds are going to be like, holy crap, I need to study the crap out of
I love
Roman
it.
history for this.
Maybe it could be a giant map that has different regions.
Yeah.
So this is, Roman stuff. This is Egyptian stuff. This is, we have American whatever over here. Like just different.
Well, if you do like if you do Giza, there's the Sphinx, there are the pyramids, there's the city. It's huge.
Sure.
That is plenty big
You would
enough
still need to
for a
truncate
map.
it. And the kind of attraction of a Fortnite map is that it's pretty diverse. You
Right.
drop in where you want to go. And
I
it
guess
has different
diversity is
areas.
true.
Yeah, you don't want to just have one city. It works in Assassin's Creed because it's a very different game and how
Right.
you traverse. But yeah, no, I love the idea of that's not just I want to say Faulty Towers, but that's a classic British comedy
Tilting
show.
Towers.
Tilted Towers. That's the Leaning Tower of Pisa or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know, where it's just like an actual real life thing. And now at the very basic level, they hear about it in school and say, hey, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Or I've heard of that before. And it creates a bridge between education and this video game they play. And not in a way where it's just like a tour
Or pandering in
or
any
pan.
way.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I know what that is. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ability to say that's cool is something that would be
Sure.
huge for like a younger age group, for them to be like, this is boring, but they're going to be like, oh no, that's cool. I know that from Fortnite.
If they already, knowing what it is before they are taught what it is gives them a sense of, oh, okay, yeah. Like, there's a big difference between sitting in class and reading and learn or being taught about something and knowing what it is before you get there.
Yeah.
I remember, this is a weird memory to bring up that popped in my head right now, but I was in like 7th grade. I think it was like language arts, and we were doing like a trivia thing, and the question was about this famous primatologist dedicated her life to living with the apes and gorillas or whatever, and learning about their society. And I knew that it was Jane Goodall because of an episode of The Simpsons. and it was funny, but also I was just like, or it just like created this sense of me of like, I learned something, or I knew that because it made me feel smart, but it also like cemented that in my mind of a thing that I knew. Like it created this weird bridge between this thing that I like and think is funny and some lame something I learned in school. And I think that could be what Fortnite does
and it
here.
clearly stuck with you today.
It stuck with me.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about Jane Goodall except for that she works with apes and really like, I don't know, like just created that it created a bridge between two very different things that has stuck with me.
I think that would be a mutually beneficial thing. I think like playing Fortnite in ancient Egypt or ancient Rome would be super cool.
Yeah.
And also I think it would help these, a lot of younger age groups get really excited about history, ancient history.
And
things
open
like
up
that.
a whole new realm for skins and
Yeah.
emotes. And
Man, heck yes.
you still have all of that stuff. Like that's all the surface level stuff is still there. You're not
Yep.
changing the game. You're just changing its scenery.
Man, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let us know what you think about the Travis Scott concert in Fortnite. Let us know what else you think Fortnite could do with this newfound innovation that they have. Let us know what you think of our ideas as well. We want to say a huge thank you to Granger for the use of our theme song, All My Friends Have Wi-Fi.
You got to think about it for half a second.
Because every time I want to say it's a departure or something like that, but All My Friends Have Wi-Fi and some of my neighbors do too, off of the album Dear Sam. Go check them out. They are both online. You can buy their album, things like that. You can go check them out. They're very good.
Yeah, and also big shout out to our patrons. We love you guys.
You guys are awesome.
We've got some, like we were talking about before, we got some, well, you might not have heard that if you're listening to the extended version, but
yeah,
we got some new content coming up for you that we're really excited about. So be on the lookout for that. But I also want to point you in the direction of our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/dezandfoxplay. Right now we've got Days Gone is coming out soon.
No,
is that already active?
It just, in fact, probably episode 4 by the time.
Okay, our Resident Evil 3 playthrough just ended.
Yep.
And now Days Gone, the PlayStation 4 exclusive, it's got zombies and motorcycles and also Oregon trivia, because that's where we live. But also my Mortal Kombat 11 playthrough is currently happening, as well as Dez's playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I just started uploading for the future after Mortal Kombat my playthrough of Control.
Ooh.
That's going to be coming up in about a week or two. So we got a lot of stuff on there, all kinds of different games, plus a very large history and very large library of games we've already played. So go check that out because there's something for you there.
That's right, guys. Thanks again for listening. And always remember that saved games save lives.
Thanks for listening.
My voice is